Hello, my name is Tony Shahid, and I'm the Property Projects Coordinator here at the Calhoun County Land Bank Authority. And I'm here today with my colleague, Quentin Hay, who's the Housing Projects Coordinator. We're excited to host the webinar on how to bid with the Calhoun County Land Bank Authority. Our goal is to walk contractors, vendors, and community partners through the process of finding and submitting bids for land bank projects. We will begin by briefly discussing the contractors that we work with. Then we'll talk about the different types of bid opportunities, how to register in the BidNet system, which is the platform we use to post and manage bids. We will review the typical documents required when submitting a bid so you can be prepared before responding to a solicitation. We will discuss how bids are reviewed and evaluated so you can understand how the selection process works. And finally, how to submit your bid through BidNet. And we will finish with some helpful tips that can improve your experience of submitting a strong and complete bid. For many of our projects, we work with contractors who specialize in rehabilitation, demolition, and property stabilization. All of these projects require a builder's license or a license that is specific to each trade, such as plumbing, HVAC, and electrical work. We also work with vendors who provide lawn care and snow removal services for our properties. For these services, a builder's license is not required, and those opportunities are great for contractors or small businesses that specialize in landscaping and seasonal maintenance. Another important category is board and secure services, locksmiths work, and trash out services. These services help us secure vacant properties and maintain them until they are rehabilitated or sold. These type of projects typically do not require a builder's license, and they often involve work across multiple sites throughout the county. We also work with contractors on infill housing projects, which involve new construction on vacant lots. Because these projects involve building homes, they require a Michigan builder's license along with licensed trade for areas such as plumbing, HVAC, and electrical work. Our goal is to work with a wide range of contractors and vendors to support neighborhood revitalization throughout Calhoun County. And next, we'll talk about where you can find these bids and how to access them.
All right, so thank you, Tanisha. The first step in bidding on a land bank and further any Calhoun County project is to register on the BidNet Direct registry site. In this way, you will become a vendor. You can find it through this QR code. There is a paid option. There are two paid options for accounts, but we recommend the free option, and you're able to view all the county bids through the land bank or any other county department. Here, you'll also be able to receive bid notifications, and again, you must be registered. If there's any technical or electronic issues, we can help to the best of our ability, but we always recommend calling BidNet Direct directly. So the number is included there below, and you can hit option 2 for support. All right, so some of the required documents that you'll see in most, if not all, of our RFPs are going to be the letter of interest, certificate of good standing, evidence of insurance, budget and pricing proposal, copy of your builder's license, 3 references, non-inclusion affidavit, debarred or suspended statement, a W-9, and then finally the equal opportunity clause. So as you can see, a number of these documents will be included in the RFP, and it is just the bidder's responsibility to complete those and submit them with their bid. Some of them, such as the letter of interest, insurance, certificate of good standing, and builder's license, will be the responsibility of the bidder to obtain. So we'll get into a bit more of the specifics with those in the next few slides. So for the letter of interest, we're really just looking for background on your company. So we're going to need your company name, contact information for any project managers, and then overall contact information for your organization. Describe what you do, how you're qualified for this particular bid that you're bidding on, how many years of experience you have, and then we'd also like to know if you are a minority business entity or a women business entity. And then finally, we'd also like to know your experience with grants. So as you can see on the left, this is a mock letter of interest. We use Tanisha's mock construction company, Heath Construction. You can see that they included their contact information, their address, and the owner of the business, Tanisha. And then in the experience piece, they listed that they're a general contracting company. They have 15 years of experience. And then they also included their specific specialization. So in this case, it is roofing and siding. We'd love to know that in your letter of interest. And then any other information that you think will be helpful for us to better understand your organization. So the next document that we'll need is the certificate of good standing. So this is one of the documents that the bidder will need to find on their own. So if you are registered with the state through the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, otherwise known as LARA, you can do a quick search to find your business, and then there's just a small fee associated with the certificate of good standing. Here it's listed at $10. In that way, once you obtain that, you'll be able to submit that with your bid. So if that was a bit from left field, there is some background on how you apply or register your business with the state. So you would go to LARA, you would register your business, put in all the required info, and then you would apply for an employer identification number, also known as an EIN, and then you would obtain your insurance and either upload your license or become a licensed contractor. So the evidence of insurance is going to be particularly important for all of the projects that the land bank does. So we're going to need to see $2 million in commercial general liability, $500,000 in workers' compensation and employers' liability, and then $1 million per occurrence for automobile liability. And a really important part of all of this is that the land bank is listed as the additionally insured. This is something that is relatively simple and quick to add, but we do need that when you submit your bid. And then for performance bond, any contract through the land bank that is over $50,000 will require a performance bond, and this is just for licensed contractors in the bids that they'll be applying to. All right. So the next one is, you can see this is a mock budget and pricing proposal. This is very similar to what you would see on any of our RFPs. So a few different line items. First, we got the permit, and then we have the actual work that will be done, which is a roof, fascia, and soffits. So it's very important that you read through all of these line items, get a full understanding of what's being required or asked of you, and then you would input your pricing proposal. And we do ask that you double, triple check the math and make sure that all adds up correctly and that you understand what you're proposing. And then this is a pretty simple one. It's just the copy of your residential builder's license or certificate. And we'll just need this into one important thing is that it must be in the company's name or the owner's name, whoever the licensee is. So references, we do ask for 3 references, and we ask that the job reference, all those references must be related to the job you're bidding for. So if you're doing roofing jobs or bidding on a roof job, we would ask that you provide us with references for any other roof jobs that you may have done, and then include any previous experience working with government agencies, if that's applicable to your organization. And then, so we will use this to check and make sure that your organization is in line with the project goals.
Thanks, Quentin.
Yep.
And so after you receive your bid, in that RFP, There will be information that includes pre-bid meetings and question and answer dates. So again, please make sure that you are reading each page of the RFP because it does contain important information regarding these meetings. For any questions that you might have, you can upload those directly to BidNet. We prefer questions to be uploaded, but we will also accept them by email and sometimes by phone. There is a deadline for submitting those, so please pay attention to those dates. We will post all of those questions that we receive from everyone on BidNet. And those questions can be seen by everyone. So if you didn't think of a question and you see the other questions, it will be helpful. As far as the bid meeting, not every project will have a pre-bid meeting, but if it does, it will be listed in the RFP. Pre-bids are required, and if you do not attend the pre-bid meeting, you are ineligible to bid on that project. The pre-bids will happen before you submit all of your documents and all of your paperwork. So pre-bid meetings are open to all contractors. If you are an unlicensed contractor, or say you're an electrical contractor coming to a bid opening for a general contractor, that can be a networking opportunity for you, and we encourage that. Although you cannot bid on the bid, you can make connections with a general contractor who is bidding the job, who may need a subcontractor support. And once you receive the email or a notification about our bid, or see the bid is posted, you are going to see this. So what you want to look for is the place bid option that's circled here in red. You want to make sure that you review this whole first page on BidNet. You want to look at the project number, make sure that it is our bid that you are looking for. Make sure that you look at all of the associated dates that are on this front page as well. And when you open the bid, make sure that you read the entire document, and also the documents that are associated with the bid, including any attachments that are posted with that bid. This is one of the documents that will be attached with the bid, and these are directions for submitting your bid. This document will lay out step by step on how to submit your bid using the BidNet system. Please make sure that you follow these directions step by step. Again, view all the attachments in the solicitation. Everything that you need is online. And again, as Quentin mentioned before, if you have any complications with submitting or there are some technical difficulties, you can call the number for support for BidNet, and they are very helpful and will answer any questions that you might have. And now that you have all of your documents ready, you are ready to submit your bid. Make sure that you do not wait till the last minute. So there are no extensions. Most of our bids are due by 3 o'clock. So at 2:50, you don't want to be trying to submit your bid right then at the end. You can submit anytime before the deadline, so you don't have to wait right until 3 o'clock. You can submit it days or a week before. Make sure that you combine all of your documents into one PDF and upload that directly to BidNet. So we do not want multiple PDFs. If you can combine all of the documents into one PDF, that is very helpful for us. Also, make sure you do not include the RFP with your bid. Please only extract only the documents that you need from the RFP and include them in your bid packet. And that is about 5 documents, the documents that Quentin mentioned previously. Those will be included in the RFP, and you can extract them, fill them out, and then include them with your bid submission. And last, know that it's okay if you forget a document. If you say, hey, I forgot my W-9, it's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. Some of those things can be accounted for afterwards. Just make sure that you have the important things in there. But again, it does not need to be perfect. And as you continue to try, you will get better with the bids. And here we have an example of what a bid tab or the bid opening is. So a bid opening is open to everyone who submitted a bid. Everyone that comes can see what others are proposing. This bid opening is held online via Zoom, and the link for that bid opening is included in the RFP. So in this bid example, we see that Heath Construction outbid the other three contractors in 3 out of 4 projects. So if there are multiple bidders can win. So Heath Construction won 3 projects and Joe's Roofers won 1 of the projects. But it is also important to note that just because you have the lowest price does not always guarantee winning a bid. We do use an evaluation system to determine the most qualified contractor based on all of your submitted documentation. So after the bid opening, we do, if upon request, supply attendees of the bid opening with the bid tab so that they can understand where their bids differed from others. And this here is an example of our evaluation and scoring. And so you can see that we give points based on experience providing the service, with experience with working with grants. We also give points based on your attendance or participation with our Calhoun Builders Connection Group, which Quentin will discuss more in the next slide. We also give points based on the lowest bid amount versus the next lowest bid amount. And then we also give preference to our local contractors. So if you are here in Calhoun County, you will receive more points than someone who is more than 50 miles outside of Calhoun County. And now I will turn it over to Quentin, who will talk more about our Calhoun Builders Connection Group.
Yeah, thank you, Tanisha. So as Tanisha was saying, we do offer additional points in the scoring process for contractors that do attend Calhoun Builders Connection. So Calhoun Builders Connection is a monthly contractor meetup and networking event that's held every 4th Friday at 8 a.m. The location is the Link Community Event Center, and the address is located on the slide as well, here in Battle Creek. And the mission of Calhoun Builders Connection is to provide support to existing and emerging contractors while providing additional services to our Black, Indigenous, and people of color and women skilled tradespeople to develop a stronger, more inclusive trades pipeline. So we're really committed to having our community built by community members and uplifting emerging contractors, existing contractors, and then again, those BIPOC and women skilled tradespeople. So we'd love if you join us. That's again every 4th Friday at 8 a.m. We serve breakfast, coffee, and it's a good chance to meet up with other contractors in the community. So some final tips and takeaways. One of the most important things we can say, and we say it all the time, is to read and take your time. Read and reread the RFP. Make sure you fully understand what the project is and what you're bidding on. And then use a checklist. So you could even print off the slide, take a screenshot of the slide of the required documents and use that as a checklist to make sure that you have everything in your bid and have someone else double check it just to make sure. And then if you don't win, keep trying. We are always going to have plenty of projects coming through the pipeline, and we are also happy to help you better understand where your bid may be lacking or where to improve. So if you want, give us a call and we're happy to help and answer any questions. And then finally, here's our contact info. So Tanisha and I are the property projects coordinator and housing services coordinator, respectively. And then we also have our assistant director, executive director, office coordinator, and staff accountant. And we're happy to help and look forward to reading your bids.